we have 2 events to go in the street class. And then once we are done with those, we should technically unlock the street finals, if I'm not mistaken. So, our next one, in terms of events, will be the Street Big Bang Cup. And as my consistency is proving to be the key to winning each of these cups by default, and because I don't have to go back and clean up any of the races I do, which I didn't win, that's also fine. But it's now time for the Street Big Bang Cup, our second to last event of the street class. And we begin at Midwest Ranch 1. So 5 circuits, and I believe we also have the Desert Oil Mine, if I'm not mistaken. Is that what it is? Or is it just Desert Field? I suddenly don't remember what the second course is called. Whatever. I am also trying to get up to 750 subs if possible by the end of September, so if you like what I do around here, then please subscribe and try to get me up to 750 subs before the end of September if possible. Thank you. Anyway, now that I've got that little bit of info out of the way, and already it's kicking off. Thankfully, however, we do have plenty of laps ahead of us, and the field is still wrecking at the moment. Literally all of us are wrecking. We're just wrecking everywhere. As I spin Sally round, and I get nosed into a tree by Jason. And Sophia is up to the lead as I get a little bit of oversteer. I think that was just caused by me. Oh fuck. And I go into the silo. We're really not off to a good start, are we? Well, thankfully, however, we still have another 3 laps to try and see if we can get back up into the top 3. And the way this race has gone so far, I would say we're very much still a contender for this. As Jason gets wrecked by Sally, one who actually nosed me into a tree earlier on, I think, was what happened with Jason, and why my rear trunk is damaged. But whatever, it's fine. I'm pretty sure the Road King is meant to resemble a Mustang. I'm also really trying not to put my left elbow on the side of my chair, because I have a really awkward bite on my wrist. And it's actually harder than you think to keep a wrist with an awkwardly placed bite off the armrest. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who has had this problem. And looks as though Jack is pretty much in a league of his own. So I think from here we're pretty much just going to be fighting for whoever finishes second. And I'm not using the jump this time. And there goes my hood, and I get forced into a tree by Sophia. And I get a slam on Katie, and now my race is fucked. Well, looks like third is probably the best I can hope for. The way things have already fucked me over at this point. I'm actually a little pissed off. And now Sophia has just fucked off into the distance. So I think it's fair to say third is definitely the best I can hope for here. As long as I don't keep wrecking myself somehow. However, we still have another 4 races to make up for the mistake. So both the top 2 have just fucked off into the distance. Meanwhile, I'm here just trying to hold on to third. And Katie is wrecked again. And she drops down to 6th. So Jack wins race 1 ahead of Sophia, and myself is 3rd. Then we had Ray 4th, Franken 5th, Katie 6th, Sally 7th, and Jason finished 8th and last. I think Jack for most of that race was basically just in a league of his own. I might have had a shot at catching him if I wasn't wrecked by Sophia at the end of the 2nd lap, I think it was. Well, it could have been the 3rd lap, but whatever. It's fine. I may be down, but I am not out. 2 slams, 1 power hit, and no top driver rewards for me this time. So those are your standings after race 1. Jack leads, Sophia 2nd, myself 3rd, and Ray Carter is 4th, ahead of Frank, Katie, Sally, and Jason. Let's now get through... Oh yeah, Desert Scrapyard. Yeah, I thought that name was familiar. Race around an old military airplane graveyard and through abandoned flight hangars. I should actually mention, aside from us doing the Street Survival Cup where we had 5 DNFs in that race, this one technically holds the 2nd most with 3 so far, in terms of our highest attrition rates up to this point. In other words, the attrition strike rate here is 2nd highest with 3, as I muscle Frank out the way, and he now drops down. And the wrecking is taking place again. Sally leads, I get a power hit and a slam on her, as the field is still continuing to basically wreck everywhere. And I get a power hit on Jack as I nose my car into the wall. And apparently I get a crash out on someone, don't know who. And I'm on top of Jason, please get off. And I get a power hit on Katie and Jason. And Sophia this time is the leader. So I'm going to assume the chaos must have been too much for Jack to realistically make a run for the win so far. Well, I may not have won yet, but I still have another 3 races to get it done. I think I'll probably win at least 1 race, because I kind of have to, but for now at least, I am happy to just keep scoring points whenever I can, because that is how I keep beating the AI. And I am pretty convinced in saying that is eventually how I'll beat the AI again. And what do you know, Katie is in her usual place at the back of the field. Unfortunately. And it looks as though we might be in the battle for first. Jack is behind me, I am behind Ray. Let's see if we can get ourselves in the hunt. As it looks like it might be a battle of the canyons, if I can get close enough to Sophia. Really trying to see if I can get a clean pass on her. I think that's close enough. And Sally is out. That's kind of what I expected. and I think she's got me. However, I do finish ahead of Jack. Yeah, she's definitely got me. I don't think I'm able to mount a charge. And nope. Yeah, she definitely got me. Well, I came close, but I don't think I was really gonna outmatch her pace. Well, whatever. Sophia wins race 2 with myself second, Jack 3rd, Jason 4th, Ray Carter 5th, Frank 6th, and KT finished 7th and last, as Sally damaged out. And there is KT crossing the line as we speak. Because Sally once again damaged out. I don't think the Road King is a very strong car, if I were to get a personal assessment. So 1 crash out, 6 slams, and 3 power hits. And I get both the Best Wrecker and Blastmaster awards, amounting to a bonus of 1500 credits to add on to the money I already got from this race. So we are now past 75 grand, and I am still in 3rd. But I think I can still win. I may be down, but I am not out. This is basically where I need to start winning. So there's your order so far. Let's now move on to Motor Raceway 1. I think this is actually a track I go relatively well around, so hopefully this one should present me with good fortune. And I should be able to realistically make a run for the trophy, I hope. Actually no, I just remembered there was actually one race during the playthrough where I did achieve the Top Driver Award sweep. There was definitely one race where I did all that. I'm sure there was. I have a strong feeling that says this race doesn't like me. As in, there's definitely something along those lines that says this race might just hate me. For the fact that I am in 3rd place and 4 points behind the leader heading into race 3. I'm definitely a believer in saying that I literally have to fight in order to somehow win this. And I think that's what it's going to take. I honestly just have to be as much of an asshole to the rest of the field as they are to me. In other words, I basically have to be practically one of the biggest assholes on the road, just so I win. Because winning is kind of important at this stage. And I would really like it if I could actually get one. But anyway, I am up at the front of the field, which is where I need to be. And I am out of trouble, and Ray is out. So I think that's... yeah, I think that's our second DNF of the tournament. So with Ray out, it's basically me ahead of the top 2. And brother, it had better stay that way. Somehow. If I can help it. Right, final lap. And Sally is now out, so that takes the attrition toll up to 2. And looks as though both Sophia and Jack are out of contention for winning. Because I now have, I think, a large enough lead, providing I don't hit any leftover debris. I should have a large enough lead in this race to clinch it. As there is what remains of Sally's Road King. Alright, P1. I claw 2 points back on Sophia. And 2 DNFs. Both Sally and Ray were the 2 casualties of this race. And I get slammed from behind by Jack, I think it was. Okay, let's get our replay before I get slammed again. Because that's probably what will happen. So, took me a few tries to get the right attempt, but then once I did get the right attempt, I was pretty much home free. Which is precisely where I wanted to be. Even though the debris was very much trying its best to kill me. But whatever. Point is, I still won. I made a fair share of mistakes to get there, but I still won. And that's the important thing. Because I needed it. Huh. I could actually see the fan from the engine for a moment there. I was pretty sure that was the fan I definitely saw there on the motor. Yeah, that's definitely the fan I see there. At the front of the engine bay. I'm also pretty sure this thing is no doubt a V8 motor and a modern design. Which is pretty much what you would expect from a pickup truck like this one. Anyway, 3 races down, I finally have my first win. And now, I just need to make sure I get another one, and then, providing the consistency of the AI, if they do or don't stay consistent, I should definitely be in a good position. And I got no race rewards. But somehow I still got, but somehow, in spite of that, I still get the fastest lap. Not bad. Anyway, those are your point standings, as I now move up to second, finishing 3rd in the first race, 2nd in the second race, and 1st in the 3rd race. Now moving me to within 2 points of Sophia, and Jack now drops down to 3rd, Jason moves up to 4th, and we have a tie for 5th between Ray and Frank, in the Street Big Bang Cup. Let's now move on to Water Canal 2 for 3 laps. So as long as I outscore both Sophia and Frank up to this point, I should be able to clinch it. I hope. I do have a fast enough car at least. That much is obvious. But the only question is, can I do what I did before with the Sparrowhawk? Nope, I am not getting wrecked this time. not off the line anyway. Seriously? Still, I do appreciate the slam though. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Even though my ride was obviously ejected at that point. Anyway. Right behind Jack. Trying to see if I can catch up to him, and he's wrecked. Which now puts me up into the lead. I was only 2 points behind Sophia heading into the 4th round, and I am pretty sure that if I can manage to stay ahead of both Jack and Sophia at this point, that should technically give me the points lead, depending on where they finish. And Jack is once again showing his superior speed. However, I am very much continuing to make his life a misery, even though he is behind me in points. But whatever, I am still giving him pain, the same way he would give it to me. And Jack's car has flipped again, even though it is back on all 4 wheels again. I think if he has one more big wreck, then I'm pretty sure that is going to be what puts him out. And Sally has now had... is that her 2nd or 3rd DNF? Nah, this has got to be her 2nd. Her 2nd straight DNF. And Jack now moves ahead again. And Katie's running pretty well at the moment, as she is running in 4th and battling with Jason. I just had no steering camber heading into that corner. The steering was just completely gone. I just could not turn it. Probably because the debris prevented me from steering. Get back here, you son of a bitch, I am not finished with you yet. Oh, he's wrecked again. And his car is very nearly damaged. And Frank is out. So that leaves 6 drivers left. However, I am ahead of the top 2. Or my 2 main rivals, at least, is the point I'm trying to get across. Oh, and Jack's out. So that just leaves me and Sophia to duke it out at the front. And she runs wide. I did have some trouble getting through there, but I was able to at least survive long enough to get my car back in front. And so, that's the way Race 4 finishes. As I... oh, correction. It was Jason who set the fastest lap. But either way, I did manage to survive and beat Sophia, who has been rather consistent herself, but because I now have 2 wins on the board, that now should put me tied for the lead with her, because she finished 2nd. So Jason 3rd, Katie 4th, and Ray finished 5th, last of the finishers. And in the end of that, we had 3 DNFs, as Jack retired on the last lap, Frank also retired on the 3rd lap, meanwhile Sally retired midway through the 2nd lap. Okay, let's get through our last race. I survived the carnage of Water Canal 3 to live and fight another day. And I can certainly say those big hits I gave to Jack must have been what no doubt became the cause of him racking out in the end. So 3 slams, 2 power hits, and 1 blast out. And I get another 500 credit bonus for being the bulldozer. All the other top driver awards were taken by Jason. Cool. And yep, so heading into the final race of the Street Big Bang Cup, I am now tied for the lead with Sophia. No one else has any shot of really coming close to us. And there is the rest of the order. So we have a tie for 5th between this time Katie and Ray. And Jack is pretty much out of contention points-wise. Even though he is still mathematically in it, there is pretty much no hope for him to really be in contention for this. So, 34 points apiece for myself and Sophia. And now, we will head to Timberlands 3 for the finale of the Street Big Bang Cup. I have been in this position before, and I have managed to come out on top. Will I do it again? Well, stay tuned to find out. As I am sure some of you probably will. Anyway, here we are. Basically, I just have to beat Sophia, and then this cup is mine. And then we only have basically 1 cup to go after that, as I already get some pretty big hits on Jack. I was really needing to reset my car just to make sure that... And I have spun. And Ray also took some pretty heavy damage there. And Sophia is up at the front once again. Really didn't want to drill Frank there. I really tried my best to avoid him. Oh fuck. Yep. I knew someone was gonna put me into that, I think that was a crane that I just ran into there. Oh, Sally's the leader. Anyway. I just need to get ahead of Sophia, and then this one should be mine. There is plenty of chaos yet to come here at Timberlands 3. I'm not too far behind, and I clipped the ramp. Put me in the worst possible place imaginable. Really did. Okay, I need to stop wrecking. If I am going to be a contender for this, I need to stop wrecking. That's pretty much my main concern right now. And Sally's up ahead of me, so I just need to finish ahead of her, and then we should be all good. She's the only one who can really fight with me for this one. I think we've had a few fights in the past where I have managed to emerge as the winner. But it looks as though right now, like, not a lot is really going to happen. And Sally has just been wrecked, and there goes Sophia as well. So that now bolts me up into 3rd, and ahead of my main rival for the title. We were tied heading into this race. I just need to finish ahead of her, and then this battle should be mine again. And Sophia has wrecked once again, so I guess that means she's pretty much out of it at this point. So Jason Walker leads, Jack Benton 2nd, and it is me in 3rd. Just need to stay ahead of Sophia, and then I'll have it. Might be just a 1 point margin, but it'll still be enough for me to realistically... Hold on. I just need to stay ahead of Sophia. And then we should be all good. Because I get a little bit loose there. This battle isn't over yet, but... And Frank is out. So... And she tries to do the side swipe on me, but it doesn't work. She went too deep. And that now moves me up into second, and I will score the Street Big Bang Cup by 2 points over Sophia. And there's the rest of the order. So Jason wins, myself in second. I did... Oh, Frank got the fastest lap. Oh well. Well, at least I got the fast finisher's lap, at least. Then we had Sophia 3rd, Jack 4th, Ray 5th, Katie 6th, Sally 7th, and last. And Frank failed to finish on the final lap. So, 2 wins in the end. And we also had 1 win to Jack, 1 win to Sophia, and the 4th winner in 5 races wound up being Jason. So once again, I prove that consistency is the key. And also being able to put up one hell of a fight. That's basically what I did. I put up one hell of a fight. So 1 crash out, 1 blast out, 1 super flip, 1 power hit, and 4 slams. And no bonus rewards. Don't really care about those. Because what's important is... I win the Street Big Bang Cup by the skin of my teeth. 2 points clear of Sophia. Jack finishes 3rd. And then, after that, we had Jason coming home 4th as a result of him winning the final race. Then Ray did have some moderate consistency, in spite of that 1 DNF he had at the old airfield. He comes home 5th. Katie winds up finishing 6th. With Frank in 7th as a result of him failing to finish that last race. And Sally finishes last with, I think it was 2 straight DNFs at one point. But she... Actually, no. I'm pretty sure she had 3 DNFs in this cup. No, wait, correction. It was only 2. At least I think it was 2. I'd have to look back on the video footage to be sure. Anyway, she only scores 8 points. So 2 golds, 2 silvers, and 1 bronze, and a 10,000 credit bonus for winning. And we've now unlocked soccer. I'd assume we're just going to be scoring goals in this one. But there we go. The Street Big Bang Cup is now done, and all we have left is the Special Street City Cup. Also, the last championship of the street class. And then after that, we can pretty much get through the side events, as we so often do. So, yeah. That's what we'll be doing next time on FlatOut 2. Special Street City Cup.